Welcome back to the Realistic Cattle Ranch Challenge on Sunshine Forest. I'm BP, and it's time to get to work. Guys, we had 7 calves overnight going into October. 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here, 6 over here. There's one more hiding somewhere, but we had 7 calves. That is absolutely incredible. So we did, oh, hello. We did have one addition to the farm overnight. We did add a manure pit. Figured since we put the straw into the birthing barn and they'd be producing manure, we should get it out. I thought initially that the birthing barn had like a shovel area that you could go in with like a front end loader like this one and scrape it out, but I did some testing and couldn't find a way to get manure out of this barn at all without the silo extension. So we threw one in the back. So we have manure to handle today, but before we get on to the manure, I want to run over here and get out at least one bale of hay. Let's see, we don't want 4, we want 1. Okay, so we have 1 out. The breeding pasture, which also we have some new pregnant cows or some pregnant heifers. That went well overnight as well, but we are out of food over there. They're on meadow grass, which isn't generally a problem, but we know meadow grass does not give us a very good chance of getting the heifers pregnant, so we will add some hay into their pasture, and they should be good to go. Let's swap this out and let's go muck some manure, and then we've got a bunch of cow work to do today. Have to move them all over the place. So let's see. Drop this here. Head back over, grab our bucket. We haven't used our bucket yet. I'm excited to get to use it. So grab it over here. And head back into our little manure pit. I did some additional testing when I was looking at the barn, and I was hopeful that we'd be able to get one manure heap and it might work for the calving igloos as well, because the calving igloos have straw and produce manure too, but you have to have one silo extension for each of the pens, and because of their proximity to each other, it was proven to be pretty hard to get the calving igloos to produce manure into a manure extension. They're certainly producing it, but getting one to link to the igloos instead of to the birthing barn was proving to be difficult, if not just not happening. So it's not very much manure. I mean, certainly over time it could add up, but we'll go with just this for now. Get all this loaded up. Let's see, pull all the way up here. I do love our Massey skid steer tool. The tip on the bucket is not great. It could be a little bit better, just to help out getting it emptied and getting it in certain places. Let's see, let's grab all this. And got room for a little more. Alright. That's cleaned out. Go ahead and put this into the spreader. I think we're going to spread one of our grass fields today. That is one of the other things I got done overnight. I did harvest, it was grass field 2. I got some hay out of that, and I limed both of our grass fields. So now all 3 of our fields are limed and good to go. So let's jump out here. 5,800 liters of manure. We're going to just park this up out of the way for right now. We'll get to spreading that in a little bit. Right now, I want to get our calves and our cows all moved around and where they need to be. So let's start over here, I guess, because we have the rope here. All right, so Ocean, pregnant, great. Faye, pregnant, great. Sadie's also pregnant. I think both of our Anguses are not. And then our Limousine is pregnant with triplets. And our Water Buffalo is also pregnant. So we have a bunch of animals to move back and forth. It is worth noting that at the time of recording this morning, on actual IRL day of recording here, the what am I trying to say? Realistic Livestock did receive an update. So, oh, we didn't get any animals. So there is an update. Doesn't look like it changed very much. Couple of sort of logistics changes, and then they did. It looks like the Arrow changed a couple of the odds of getting pregnant and that kind of stuff. I'll pop up on the screen here with the update notes from his site, just so you guys can see them. But I don't think it's going to really change any of our playthrough. Do you want to move one animal to husbandry? Yes, but I have 2 selected, so why wouldn't it move both? Yes, I want to move to husbandry. Okay, great. Okay, let's see. A couple of brown Swiss calves. And guys, I got to be honest, we may not have room for all of our calves in our igloos. I think they only hold 5 each. So, yeah, it's something with the update. We're only moving 1 animal at a time now. But we'll get through. So there should be 5 calves in there now. We might actually have just enough space. We got 7. We moved 2. So yeah, I mean, we could definitely end up getting all of them moved. Let's see. Where are the rest of the babies? Got these 2. Oh no, we don't want to sell. We definitely don't want to sell. Let's not be far enough into the correct trigger with the trailer. Move selected. We moved 1 of the animals. Jump back in. All right, move. Why does it look like it has the wrong animal selected? All right, we do have this leash mod that we've been using to move the animals around, and it's working fine. There is a herdsman stick that we could pick up that moves more animals than 2. I think it's a lot more than 2, like maybe even 200 would give us the ability to move them back and forth, so we could do all of this at once. For right now, though, I don't think it's a big deal. Just getting in here. All right, so definitely want to move this one. And this one, so we had 2 bulls. That's interesting. Okay, cool. All right, and there should be 1 baby left to move after this. Nope, we only got 1. It is proving to be moving the animals. It's proving to be a little bit of a process today. Maybe better served actually getting a trailer out and doing it so we can do it all at once. But let's see if we can get the rest of them this round. So both of the Angus bulls, move selected, move 2 animals, yes. Okay, and there should be no more babies, and there are not. So that is good news. Having a heck of a time with this leash today. And move both of you over. Yeah, we are moving them individually, but that's just the way it is. All right, go back over to our breeding pen. And let's grab, let's see, this heifer's pregnant. That one's not. That's a bull. That one's pregnant. Move selected. Move to animals. Excellent. Slide over here. We'll unload them one at a time because that just seems to be the way it works. That's done. I think we have one more animal over here that needs moved. Let's see. Wild Eye is pregnant. That's a bull. And both of these are not. So we'll move selected animals. Oh, a lot of management. We're going to have to get a bigger trailer here when the farm gets bigger because we are definitely getting up there in the animals. So let's see. Just out of curiosity, we have 22 animals in here, 10 calves in the igloos, and let's see, 4, so that's 22, 32, this is 4 is 36, 37, so we're almost up to 50 cattle, guys. That is exciting news. Okay, so step 1 for today is going to be getting some manure spreading done on our grass field. We do have our very first pallet of eggs, but with just, I think, one actual, like, adult chicken, it is 10 eggs. So it's exciting to have, but it's not making very much progress very quick. So let's jump in here and just see how the manure spreading goes. The small field, so we'll get that knocked out here real quick. Oh, it's a nice animation, at least so far. Alright, so other things on the agenda for today. Obviously, we have to take our lettuce up to the shop and get that sold. Check out what's in the sale. I don't know that we're specifically looking for any equipment, but always good to keep an eye out. We do have... Get zoomed in so we're not stuck on that tree. We do have cattle to look at today, see what we can purchase, and we're getting close with the milk. We need to check. I suspect tomorrow we'll have a couple thousand liters of milk, or at least over 1,000 liters of milk to start doing something with. We could try selling it directly. We probably need to put a dairy production in on the farm, just to start being able to produce butter, cheese, and bottled milk and stuff of that nature. But that's going to be a pretty significant expense. So I'm not sure that we'll be able to afford that right away. I may have to do some off-camera forestry work to try to keep that, or keep that income coming in to support that purchase. So there we go. That was it. Not very much manure to spread. We've got more coming, but keeping that birthing barn full of straw is going to be important in regards to keeping our fertilization state up on our grass so we can get more food out of it. So next step, before we start loading up and heading up to the shop, I think is going to be to make sure everyone has food and water. This is going to be sort of our daily routine now, keeping everyone fed and happy. Drop that off. And I don't know how much TMR we have in the mixer. It might be none. It might just be parked over here. If it is, we'll have to grab some bales and get a new batch made. Yeah, we got 1,000, so let's just go ahead and empty that. Lose the trigger. There we go. Not too bad. Alright, and then I think all of our bales are in our shed. Oh, sorry, calves. Misjudged my turn there. So I think we want to have this facing this way. Get the mixer turned on. Jump into here. As far as the massey goes, I think we want to leave the bucket back here by the manure heap. Maybe even just sort of tucked in over here. We'll grab our bale spike. And then we can pull a couple of bales out of the shed. We've got a decent amount in storage, so that's good news. We don't have a lot of straw, so I'm wondering if we really want to even be topping off with straw or just doing a silage hay mix, because we seem to have a bunch more of the silage and the hay than anything else. So one round bale of, well, let's make a double batch. We'll do 2 of those, and then we need 1 hay bale to mix in. And then how many straw bales do we have? We have 2 straw bales, which I think we want to keep for... Oh, I said keep and then put them out. I think we want to keep those for bedding in the birthing barn, not only just so the babies have some bedding, but also so we're getting manure out of it as well. Okay, so first order of business, grab a silage bale and dump it into the TMR mixer. Alright, let that break down in there. Next, grab our hay bale. Bring that over. Now we got to top it off, and we got to watch our percentages and make sure we don't end up with forage. Alright, so we're heading down towards the mix. This is where if we had more straw, we'd be in better shape. And it's still in the green. Okay. So it took all of that without complaint. Let's get this, get the Massey backed out of the way. Let's jump into the Fiat. And let's get some food in the barn. I think we'll put a full load in here, or as much as it'll take, and then we'll be ready to make another one after this once we get the calves topped off. Just want to make sure that all of our newborn cows, our newborn mothers, are producing as much milk as possible. I think that's going to be our big income stream moving forward, is our milk productions. The lettuce has been not bad, but we really need to get a little bit more going. These only hold, what, about 1,000 each, was it? So it's not likely we're going to finish this, but make sure everyone's topped off and happy. And I think the other igloo, since we just put the animals in there not too long ago, we're probably not going to be able to even put anything in. But let's just go double check. We got our water tanker here in the way. When we get in there, let's see. They may not even need any. Let's take a look and see. The left calf igloo is full, 1,600 liters, so nothing more to do there. So we can just make this next batch up, have it ready to go, and then go do some water. Slide it off, perfect. Probably gonna need another hay bale here to finish that load off, but we'll do that when we get there. Let's check and see how this one works out. All right. That one's in there. Let's check and see if we need another hay bale first. So we're pretty close to full. Yeah, we have a lot of silage, so we could top off another 1,700 liters of hay just to make this a full load and get the most out of our silage. So we'll go here. We don't have a ton of hay bales. We're gonna have to start producing more hay. I think the field that the next field we cut will go with hay regardless. I've been doing silage on field 1 and hay on field 2. I think at this point we have a lot of silage in there, a lot of grass. Grass bale is going to turn into silage, so why not? Let's get the hay, which is what we're using more of, and I mean, we need it for the breeding pens as well. Alright, that one is done, and that load is topped off. Let's see if we can get away with this little trick. Can we push this one in and keep the one on the tongs and not lose it? I don't like putting partials in the barn if we don't have to. Yep, so put that one, and we get to keep this hay bale. That is good news, exactly what we're looking for. Okay, let's get the Fiat out of the way. Then I think it's time to head up to the shop, sell some lettuce, check out the sale, come back with some animals, and see how all of that goes. So I will see you guys up at the shop with the lettuce when we check out the sale, and eventually come back and get some animals too. See you soon. I thought I'd put the lettuce in the back of the truck and bring the animal trailer up and save us a trip back and forth. So the lettuce is currently best at the sell everything. So let's go ahead and get that sold. And then it's time to look at some animals. See if we can get it out of here. Oh, it might be too high to get out. Alright, well, we will flip this around, and I will grab the telehandler over there, and we will get this stuff pulled out and sold, and I'll be right back to check out the animals in the sale with you guys. See you in a sec. We are back, got everything sold. Jump into the sale real quick and see if there's anything we're missing. Oh, another Fiat, that'd be nice. The module trailer. Massey Ferguson, look at that tractor. That thing is fancy. We have a cultivator. That's not the case we bought. That's the narrow one. So we don't need that one. Nice truck, but way too big for what we're doing. Could be fun to load manure with a belt, but I don't think it's worth the money. We do have a shallow cultivator, log grab, header trailer, tree saplings. Man, our manure spreader is for sale here. Let's see. We did the big extension, had the BKTs, galvanized $2,300. We'll have to see. I might come back. I might put the other one up on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and see if we can't get a better deal for it there. The Anna Burger wagon, that's nice. The Fort would have been nice to have, but just already committed to using the Massey. Some weights. A nice manure trailer. I think we looked at this John Deere baler previously. Yeah, that might have been what we looked at yesterday. So, yeah, some nice stuff in the sale, but really the Stroutman wagon, we got to go back and probably sell ours and grab this one and put a little cash in the bank. So, we'll see how all that turns out. For right now, let's go ahead and look at the animals. Very bad, very bad. We don't need any more bulls. Princess the Holstein is also very bad. JP, was that from Japan? Yep, that one's good, but we're looking for good animals. Looking for something higher than that. Very bad, very good. Okay, so we have one. Very bad, very good. This one's very high, very high, very high, and then extremely high. That is a nice looking animal. Don't need any more bulls. The limousine, bad, bad. Okay, now the Hereford bulls is supposed to be, that was one of the changes. So maybe they added. This type of cow is bred for profit and can be sold. Okay, well that makes sense, but is it not? So what does it say for, say, the Holsteins? This breed is used for dairy. Okay, so the Hereford brand is just another meat animal. So that's a very good animal. No reason not to pick that one up. Extremely good. Very bad. We don't need any more bulls. Water buffalo, very good, very good. So we have two here, but I suspect 50 months. Yikes. That one is not coming with us. So let's see, how many is that? That's 5. I do want to just check and make sure some of these older ones up top. 763. Where was, there was one more that was like over $1,000. This one, 12 months, 11 months. Yeah, that's all good news. We just don't want any 6-year-old animals because their life expectancy is pretty short. Okay. So we have our 5 animals. There was nothing in the sale that we can bring back with us now. I'll probably pick up that spreader wagon between episodes, but I'll run these guys back to the ranch and I'll check you guys there. See you in a sec. We are back at the ranch. Let's get these cattle put in the right pens. So let's see. Over here, we definitely have... Okay, all of these, how old is this? 3 months, 5 months, 11 months, 12 months, 11 months. These 3 can definitely go right into husbandry or right into the breeding pen. These guys are awfully young, but we don't really have spots for them. We need another calving igloo if we're going to put them in there. So let's, maybe we should put another calf igloo up. So let's move selected. Okay, so from this trailer, it is letting me move 3 animals. So it's just the leash that was proving to be the problem earlier. So they're in there. They'll either be ready to breed or are ready to breed now or will be very soon. Another calf igloo. Where do we think that should go? And we could just continue back along this back edge here. Just trying to think how we'd access the feeding portion. So let's hit a quick save before we place anything, in case we put something somewhere and it just breaks the whole game, which does happen occasionally in Farm Sim. Usually not, but every once in a while things get a little bit crazy. So construction, cows, and we have a right and a left. So let's zoom in and see. I mean, we could just do another set like right here, one here, and then one right next to it, and just have all of our calves be sort of in a row here. I like the idea of maybe even having like go this way and then one behind and one behind, and then we have all the access to them there. I'm just trying to figure out, as far as, you know, feeding and taking care of them, you know, what's going to be the best option. We could do these turning in there, so like you have to have a right hand side one, right? So you'd have this one here, you drive up and around, come back down. I think that one's going to be a bit tough, so let's just do these again. So this one goes, it's the same as that. We want to have it basically out the same amount, have it pretty squared up across the front. I think right about there is going to be pretty good. Yikes, that is potentially pretty rough on the old terrain. Let's just see what happens when we smooth that out. We'll hit it with a little bit of grass going down the side and around the back. And then maybe a little bit here. And then we need to find some gravel just to fill in these sections because we're not doing concrete here on the ranch. Okay, and then last but not least, we backfill in here with a little bit of grass. Okay. So there we go. And I think those even line up pretty good. So we can just come across here. And let's see if we can hit that trigger. No, not quite on it. Let's see. Pull over a little bit. Back the trailer in a little bit. Oh, we overshot it. No big deal. Forward, please. There we go. Oh, seems to be a bit sensitive right here. Had it for a second and now we don't. There we go. 1, 2. Move selected. Excellent. They're both moved. And we are good to go there. All right, guys. Well, I think that's pretty much going to be the episode. Got a lot done around the ranch. Just a bunch of cattle work, which isn't surprising because that's what we're here to do. Nope, let's jump back in, turn that off. But just a lot of running around. We did get our new manure pit. I want to check on grass field 1. It's got to be getting pretty close. Grow stage 3 or 4. So next month, this grass is ready to cut. And I think we're going to do hay because we seem to be growing through a lot of hay. The silage, not quite as much, but the hay we're definitely using in the livestock pen, the breeding pen to get all the animals up and so they can reproduce and maximized. And then also in our TMR mix as well, which goes to our birthing barn and all of our calf igloos. So I think we'll do some hay on that field next time. But thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos. And we'll see you in the next one.